Family, what's happening? Welcome back. Here we are again. Just wanted to let y'all know that I've been very interested in waiting for this day to come to give y'all what I had on my mind. Today's title is The Hustler's Ambition, which is something very important in my life. And I'm going to show y'all some of the keys and the key ingredients why I call the hustler's ambition, and to let y'all know that this is something that should be important in y'all life. And why I say the hustler's ambition is because it's like entrepreneur being on steroids, and something that I learned from my pastor, Philip George Godot, if y'all remember, born again Christian, and excited about serving Christ, because I believe in order for a business to thrive, you got to put God first. Life go better when you put God first. And in the Bible, it says, seek him in the kingdom first and the rest should be added. The rest would be added. One of those ingredients is a business. So through this taping and this topic about the hustler's ambition, I strongly believe in it, because through the hustler's ambition, you will create multiple revenue streams. And the reason for the multiple revenue streams that are so important, because businesses open daily, but they close daily as well, because they don't have some of the ingredients that we're going to talk about in this taping. And with that, we'll go along about how you will find your passion, your goal, and drive and motivation. Those are some of the ingredients of making a business thrive. And so once you learn that right there, you're going to always be passionate about what you're doing and how to do it. But I totally believe that you only able to do that by serving Christ, and in my life, serving Christ got me living this boss life. And so I picked this topic because one of the most important things in the world is money. We live in a $1 trillion economy, and some can't even get from check to check. But humans, we're the greatest thing that God created, and some of them are falling down, and so wanted to show y'all and talk about some of the things that I experienced in my life to got me motivated to being an entrepreneur. Some people kind of frown on the word hustlers, but my pastor looked up the definition out of Webster of what the word hustler means. An entrepreneur with an enterprising attitude. And so we decided with that right there to what I call, if you could put those topics of what a hustler really means, and you define it and use it in your life in every area, this is how you're going to be able to break the back of lack. Because lack, insufficient funds, living from check to check, that has been going on for generations after generation after generation. But in those generations, who's been strong enough and encouraged and brave enough to stand up and say, enough is enough? Well, that's what happened in my life. I decided that those topics, those words would not be a part of my life, because in the last taping, I told you, if you remember, that I'm married, 4 kids, and 4 grandkids. The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his kids. Well, how am I leaving inheritance for my kids if I'm working on a job? Now, don't get me wrong. I thank God for a job, but I realize a job isn't God's best for me. And I'm not saying those who are on a job, go and quit your job. You stay on that job and give that employer the best 8 hours you can. But while you're there, have a plan. The Bible says, write a plan. My people perish for lack of planning. So you write the plan and make it plain that you only there for a season. Don't spend your whole life on that job and think you're going to be successful and leave inheritance for your kids. That's not going to happen. So I wanted to share with you and show you some little steps and tools so how you can start moving towards that direction, and show you how to be a good steward over your money. And I believe the first thing to being a good steward over your money, everybody money, the last time I checked, said, in God we trust. but how many of us really trust what that say? In God we trust. In God we trust in my life, meaning giving God back 10% of what I've earned. And that right there means that God blessed me with 100% of it. All I had to do is give him 10% of what I earned, and I could use the 90% in my life. But when you totally trust him by giving him that 10%, the 10% you gave him off of the 90 that I got left, he put that 10% and make that 90 be 100 plus. That's why it's so important in my life that I got to serve Christ, and just totally believe some of the things in the Bible that he talk about in a monetary way. And a lot of people don't understand that God wants us to prosper. It'll tell you in Deuteronomy 8:18, which speaks about, remember, it is me, the Lord God, give you the power to get wealth. It's written in the Bible. So I decided that how do I get wealth and how do I get it? I had to go to the maker, which is God, who put everything in position for us to have it. And like I say, we live in a $1 trillion economy, and some can't get from check to check. But I would like to help y'all and to show y'all. And the next taping, we'll have all the social media accounts that where you guys could tap in and leave your comments and ask questions. And my director and editor will answer each one of those, and we'll be able to tell you step by step. But I believe in my heart, the first way is to how to become successful is letting God be a part of your life. He's the ruler and the creator of everything. We should believe that. So I just want to say is, if those are on a job, like I say, continue to stay on that job and work that job. But while you're on that job, have a plan. What's your exit route and how long you plan to stay on that job? Secondly, write a plan for your vision. What's your vision? And write the plan and make it plain. And you keep that with you readily available at all times so that you could adjust, deviate, add to it and all that. And make a step each day, each week, each month to move towards that goal of what you want your business to look like, how you want your business to be. And that the next thing is find someone who already has started a business so they could give you some, first of all, motivation, some keys, some tasks to do, some books to read. Invest in yourself so that you doesn't have to spend your whole life on a job. In my life, the word job, just acronyms, just over broke. Ain't nobody on a job. That job wasn't designed for you to be rich, because if you get rich off that job, that employer gonna be afraid of you taking his position. So that's the reason why you gotta find time that you discover who you are. What's your gifts and your talents? Write them down. What motivates you? Also, write down the things that you don't like, and then study those things that you don't like and embrace them and start moving towards them so you could erase and eliminate everything about your life that you don't like. And for me, I grew up not liking to read and not learning how to read. And so I took that same design and embracing the things that I didn't like. And so I started reading, but I was encouraged to read by my pastor. He said that I have to invest in myself. I have to learn how to read if I plan to be successful. And if you notice, I continue to talk about my pastor because that's my mentor. Like I said in the first taping, everybody needs somebody to lean on. Everyone that's successful, people in sports, they got coaches, someone who's going to train them, someone who's going to drive them, someone's going to motivate them. I just decided that's going to be my pastor because I saw what he had that I wanted. First of all, he was a great man of God. Marriage, 46 years, and that's hard to find. I haven't met anyone in my whole 52 years of living like that. And so when I saw a man like that, I was so impressed that I had to sit next to him so that I could receive all that he had. But how do I do it? By submitting myself to a man that's in position that I'm inspired and motivated to where I want to go, and humble myself so I can have a teachable spirit. That's also very important. You got to be able to calm the storm inside of you and have a spirit that you want to learn, a spirit that will keep you in position so that you can hear the positive, because your inside going to create so much noise and distraction. is going to drive you away from not being able to hear the positive. So some of these things may be hard for you guys to do because we have been on a track so long of living with distractions that you don't even know that there are distractions. Distractions are created by ambushes, and ambushes, if they're not controlled, they'll ruin for your life for generations and generations. So that's why it's so important that we have to put ourselves in position and surround ourselves around people that's going to motivate you. Because if we don't, we're going to be living the same life that our ancestors has lived for generations and generations. And the whole key in this segment is the hustler's ambition to break the back of lack, insufficient funds, living from check to check. And if we could catch that whole ambition about being an entrepreneur and taking the time to study it and learn it and incorporate it in our life, you could create wealth transfer. Create wealth that will survive through generations and generations. For instance, the Hunts, Ketchup, the originator, been dead. That company still thriving. That's what you call wealth transfer. Del Monte, the vegetables, the original owner, been dead. Wealth transfer, continue to go on. And so on and so on, such as Nestle. But how come nobody in our families are creating things like that? I believe because they haven't been taught. And they haven't found a church that will teach a message like that. Some of the time we're just used to not talking about any church, but we're just used to going to church, hearing a message and going home. But I believe in my heart what church you go to is a matter of life and death. I need my pastor and my church to motivate me to live life the way Jesus said that he intended for us to live it. In John 10:10, you can look it up yourself. He said, I come that you may have life and have life more abundantly. And that's what I want. But the only way that you're going to be able to get that in life in abundance mean my marriage, my health, my finances, my kids, my relationship with people, life to the full. You know, I'm not going to allow life to tear me down by my finances or by debt. You know what I mean? That's not life successfully to me. The beginning of life successfully, me having a relationship with God and getting to know him in a way that he has already designed my life for what it's supposed to be. So I believe that's why my pastor came up with that message, the heart of a hustler. And through the heart of a hustler, I learned to have the hustler's ambition, to be motivated. And my whole motivation in business that I want to break the back of lack in my family's life. And so I had to, like I told you in the last taping, that come up with a strategy and create it through mathematically was coming up with multiple revenue streams so that I could survive off of different avenues to create revenue streams that could be collected, that will be able to be used in my family to erase the back, to break the back of lack. So I know we don't have the time to get into it all the way, but just wanted to touch and to show you that these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about each week. And like I said, next week, we're going to have all the social media sites for you to tap in, leave your comments, and my team will get back with you. And maybe we could do some one-on-one, but I want to let y'all know that I'm passionate about what I talk about and want as much feedback from you guys as you could possibly bring in, because if we work together as a team, I guarantee that we could put an end to suffering and living from check to check and running out before the month is over with. We need to have more finances than we have month. They say time is money. Take your time and use it constructively. It's 24 hours in a day. Some of them go to work for 8 hours, some sleep for 8 hours, them 16 hours. And another, they got an hour for lunch, an hour for dinner. Well, where is the time that you take for yourself out of 24 hours to create some constructivism in it that will build your life for the future? It's not going to happen overnight, but each day you work at doing something positive in your life is moving you closer to become successful. So I want to end this to say that I love y'all. Thank God that he allowed me to be here to speak to y'all. And I promise you, we'll be back next Friday. Peace.
And that's a wrap. That's a nice 15 minutes solid.
Wow.
And that's good, you know, the 15-minute joints are comfortable.